Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just What I Am playing a Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we gathered a lot of allies across the different regions. And in this episode we are gonna go and continue. We also learned of a new threat in Curthis. Well, new threat. Like a more immediate threat over there with heretics. While you were away in Curthis, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed. Although Tataru does yet seem somewhat flustered. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into the Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? Right. This parchment need to be sorted, and these documents... Why are they even here? Oh, I'm sorely tempted to file the lot in my waste paper basket. No, Lynn, you startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid. Would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They are scattered about Revenant's Stall, and I haven't the time to track them all down. The recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Stones. You'll want to report directly back to Elfina if you don't wish to miss the ceremony. One of the signs will ever have matching uniforms. A well-funded organization, a well-dressed organization, I suppose. Right, and now we have to leave again and give 8 people their freaking clothes. Also, I'm gonna be right back. And I've returned. Those who believe this company will see no riches are short-sighted fools. The giving of oneself is an investment in the future. Thus did I sign my name to the cause. A deep blue uniform crafted specifically for Alphinaud's new trial organization. These uniforms were a splendid idea. Once our organization has made a name for itself, there shall be a wealth of plenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. That's an all done, for sure. Hey, Laurentius. I thought it best to mimic my fellows here, but I admit that I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. I love that. Ah, our new uniforms. I'm reminded of my induction into the Wood Whalers. This is the best thing ever. Hello. I don't believe we've met. I'm Ilbert, and I will have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much that I lose to the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. Uniforms are a shrewd decision. There's no easier method of creating a common bond among what is essentially a band of strangers. Guess. The scarred garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom and a hearty defender of Limsa Lominsa. Yet in truth, I stand for the betterment of the realm. And though this and thought this new company a fine opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Oh, now that's a striking shade of blue. Put alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack for color. Where is this person? There we go. Linda there. Gods, I did not expect to meet you strolling about town. The tales of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant's Stall. Have this. It is an honor to receive this uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride. Little amigo could learn much from Revenant's Stall. That this town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. I've never worn aughts quite so voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Hello there, lass. Looking for me, was you? I suggested giving a whistle, but I'm not sure, as I'd heard it among all the bustle. Oh, proper uniforms and all. This thing will cut off the blood to me head. Not to worry, though. I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. They. Isildur has at last retired from the adventurous life. Though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit, I am excited to forge my own path forward. Have this. Ah yes, the uniform. Thank you, truth be told. The thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. Yes, Lynn? Ah, Totoro mentioned you were handing out the new uniforms. I assume you've now met the rest of the recruits? Some few answered the call to arms I put forth to the established grand companies and such. You're not yet an army, but there's much a small corps of elite warriors can achieve. There's whatever. Then I mentioned I'd thought of a name for the company. It's my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth draws near then. Once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready.
So many nods.
I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Urianger. My thanks. I shall contact you anon. When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder. Have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans? Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelin silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
Maybe another cutscene then. No. Now we can get this thing, which is the same as the other thing. This freaking thing, which is quite something indeed. And then this hat. Pretty wild hat. And another cutscene. Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope that the shipment is spared the fate of the last. The winds are uncommon fierce this day. And there we go. With all of that done, we can now finally go and unlock that extreme that I've been trying to unlock for, you know, way too long. Let us go and do just that. And hope that I can still do it today. I don't really know. To be honest, since it is already relatively... Well, people might think, like, is this late? Well, considering that there 2 people already aren't here anymore in the game. Yes. Right. Well, if it isn't the Slayer of Ramu, come to see me in the flesh. I'm fortunate that you should happen by. I was, in fact, on the verge of sending a runner to track you down. We've had some troubling news from the cells of Elsalis. It appears that the Lord of Levin walks to Tweleswood again. From what I understand of the Elder Seedseer's explanation, your last encounter with the Primal was a relatively peaceful affair. There was a battle, aye, but one for which Ramu did not begrudge your victory. Why then has he returned to the forest? 'Tis you, Lyn, whom fate has chosen to uncover the answer to that question. It seems that Frixio, the Sylph Elder, will discuss the matter with you personally. Speak first with Delexia in Dosalis, and she will announce your arrival to their leader. Ah, and I would also consider it a favor if you could possibly pass along aught you learned to the Silence. As I understand it, Archon Uriange is a keen scholar in the field of all matters primal. Pray make your final report to him. Why? You literally just made me pray return to the waking sands. I can't believe you've done this. Spread Christmas. That is already over. Sad. Sad. Walking One is here, as Walking on one heard of Lord Ramu's return. Then this one does not need to explain. Walking One should wait here while this one fetches Elder One. Blah. Walking One is most welcome in these one's homes. The gentle sighs of wind and trees and brooks told these ones of Walking One's peaceful words with Lord Ramu. These ones also heard that Thunderous One challenged Walking One to battle. This one is certain that Lord Ramu was pleased with Walking One's strength. And such strength Walking One has. Arrows shooting ones often tell grand tales of Walking One, and these ones are glad to call Walking One friend. But this one must warn Walking One. Touched ones have summoned Lord Ramu once more, and this time with an offering of many, many more crystals. This one does not think Thunderous One means to bring judgment to Gridania. After all, Lord Ramu made a special promise to Walking One. It is the intentions of Touched Ones that concern this one. Touched Ones yet act in fear and in hate. Even should Lord Ramu ignore Touched One's destructive wishes, his presence alone drains the land of Ether. It is not just Gridania, but the entire realm that Thunderous One threatens. Life will seep from the soil, crops will wither and die. Then, though Lord Ramu will it otherwise, Walking Ones will go to war over what remains. This one begs a brave and courageous one to fight again. Touched Ones must understand that summoning Thunderous One is futile. That thunderous one respects the strength of Walking One. Thank you. This one knew Walking One would do the right thing. Walking One know how to visit the striking tree, touch the aetheryte bound in the domain of touched ones. And Walking One will soon be face to beard with Lord Vermeer. These ones will listen to the Forest voices for news of Walking One's victory. Well, this is annoying. It's intriguing that this is like a much more involved quest, but at the same time it makes sense because like Ramu is not really the most aggressive primal. Tuning. As we unlock the striking tree extreme. I, my friends, will be right back for you guys. I'm not sure if I'm even gonna be here today still, like for me. But, well, yeah, I'll try to look for a group to do this with, but I'm not sure. BRB. Just have this one here. I've been here for... So I've been alone today. Oh my god, jeez. I've been alone today, and I've been waiting here for like an hour and a half. For trying to get this fucking duty going, but like, we'll see if this even... works, honestly. Oh. Somebody else is watching a cutscene, that's why it took so long. Ray like joined me, so then he was watching a cutscene, so that was kind of scary. Speaking of cutscenes, all of these people are, I think, new. So this is gonna be... Oopsie. This will be content, my friends. An entire crew of new people. This is gonna be quite something. Okay. Alright, that's not ideal. Okay, so one of the bigger mechanics in this fight is that you now need to... No. Why did you grab your Angus? Oh! Okay. So, one of the important things now as tank in the extreme version of this fight is that you need to have this buff on you, otherwise you will die to the Tank Buster. So when you're main tanking, you need to make sure that you have this buff or you will die. Anybody who gets hit with this stuff is also going to die. So our good old Dark Knight buddy decided to provoke and now proceeds to die. Because he doesn't know the mechanics. Basically nobody in here knows the mechanics, so this is going to be a mess of a fight. It is already a mess of a fight, usually. But it's going to be even worse now. So, you know. Just FYI. Okay, and now I need to just go and pray that I can grab enough of these freaking orbs. I don't care if I get hit with them. Shit, I need to just make sure that I don't kill too many people while I try to grab... This is gonna be bad. We're gonna need to explain stuff to people because... yeah. This is going to be bad. And okay, that's it. It doesn't help that somebody insta-pulled though. That doesn't really help. Anyway, this is gonna either be just raw footage or I'm just gonna be cutting around depending on how long this is going to take, because this is going to be quite something. Alright, so off we go. Come on, Bungie. Your boy needs to begin tanking. Alright, so the way that this fight works in Extreme is that after every one of these AoEs he's gonna drop some orbs. Grab 3 of them, get Surge Protection when you are a tank. As long as you have the protection, you will be fine against the tank busters. If you do not, you will die in one shot. Another thing that will happen occasionally is Chaotic Strike, which may seem familiar from the normal version of the fight. You have to hit people. You have to hit people with the lightning circles to save them from the effects of being seduced by him. Seduction is going to pull you towards the middle. He's going to use that AoE and basically kill you. Another thing that is a pretty good idea is to avoid, in general... Hey, nice, he did it. Is to avoid where the tank is standing. Usually you have like one spot over here, A, and then the tanks will be like at the north side. So... Normally you should just try to avoid the tanks and then you should be fine. No ray like Jesus Christ. That is like, honestly, that is just about it for like the beginning of this fight. The rest really isn't too bad. But it is such a like a messy little combination of things, I would say. Where it's in theory very simple, but the execution can be quite tricky when you do not have like correct communication between everybody. Because if you overlap those two freaking circles when you try to hit people, like I almost just had with Raylag, then those two people will die. Guaranteed. Another thing that could happen is that you, as a like when you're tank swapping, that you get hit with the Jesus. I'm having brain farts in a hat. That you get hit with the seduction shenanigans or with confusion. But that isn't really too big of an issue, because as long as you have the aggro, the tank buster will also get you out of that state. So, man, what is happening with these people? Anyway, this fight, in theory, like on paper, it's not that complicated, but it is surprisingly difficult to actually perform. When it comes to the ad phase, you have to deal with them in a clockwise fashion. Where you just deal with like the first one over here, then that one, and you like turn Ramu around. That way the tank can always be on a good spot. Like that way, like for instance, the party is over here and the tank will be on the opposite side, and you can just like spin him around like this. Other than that, in the second phase, if you remember in the original, like in a normal fight, you sometimes have a tether. You're like connected to somebody with a line. And that is going to result in pain. To be 100% honest. That is going to result in you taking damage whenever you use an action, and you have to use Surge Protection, which is the buff that you get when you get 3 orbs, to remove it. So, if you're a non-tank, you also just grab, like, one of the two needs to grab 3 orbs. Not both of them, one of the two. Alright, Bon, come on, go. Go, Bon. You begin tanking, my friend. Thank you. Grab them 3 orbs. Revoke. And now I'm about to get zapped, which is fine by me. As you can see, I have Chaos, but also... Like, at the moment, you might be thinking, like, oh no, I'm gonna get seduced, which is true. But then he's going to just slap me with one of his big tank busters, and bam, seduction is gone. You don't have to be hit when you have the Chaos debuff. You can also get hit when you have the other, seduce debuff. Both of them, if you just shock them, you will get them out of their debuff state. Oh, good lord. Another thing, whenever a lightning strikes, then the water is going to go... I'm sorry, the lightning is going to go through the water, which will result in double the amount of damage that you will take if you're standing in the water. So, you know, another little fun little side note. Okay, that was a little bit scary. I thought that Cocoon was going to die again. In the original like way that we did this fight, we used focus target on the other tank to see the buff timer. But now that they have recently changed the entire part where you can now see other people's buff and debuff timers, this has become kind of a non-issue. Okay, this is a bad situation. I am main tanking right now, so I need to make sure that I do not accidentally blast other people, is the idea. However, our main tank, or our other tank in any case, doesn't really know that he needs to disengage and join the party. So I kind of have to deal with this now. Oh, he's gonna take a lot of damage, huh? Please don't die. Please get away from me. Jesus Christ. Christ almighty. This is ridiculous. We also go in this. I accidentally grabbed an orb, which is pretty fucking bad. Oh no. That's gonna kill Raylag. Because those are two. Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay. Well. Hit me with that lightning. Actually, wait. This might kill me. No? Really? And that, my friends, is basically this entire fight. There's not much else to it. Avoid like tiny little, like, you can see sometimes see like in the ad phase, tiny little lightning bolts. Try to avoid those too, because those are line attacks that are also gonna damage you. It's not too bad, just long, like, honestly, when you do it with just echo and just normal, it's really not gonna be too bad, but it could be really bad. This is definitely a fight that you just have to get used to kind of like, it's a fight that, I feel like this is a fight that teaches you to kind of like deal with stuff on the flow. And when you're tanking, it is also a fight that very much teaches you like how you should tank, honestly. It teaches you very well how to tank swap and deal with other mechanics while also tanking. Like to keep your eye out for like tank busters or anything of the sort. Also, Ban really needs to fucking learn to pull and go to the north. Or at least start to tank, but he probably doesn't know that. Like, it's honestly a lot of freaking information that you need to process sometimes. So I really do not blame it for people when they, like if they do not know anything, or like if they do not know how these fights work, and I'll just punch is dead. There we go. That kind of happens. Is this it? God, please. Yeah, this is it. Jesus! What the fuck? That was 57 minutes, baby! Yep. That, my friends, is ffXIV. I didn't even get to explain everything because I was so in the freaking mindset of like, okay, this is how it all like works. And my god, that was so bad. This, my friends, is the authentic duty finder remove experience. Not recommended. However, I couldn't find a good party to do this, and this is my only choice. Just, you know, FYI. I just noticed that I could have given Ray like a commendation. I gave the other commendations. I didn't even notice. Whoopsie. I do want to roll for this stuff though, because the lightning stuff is pretty cool looking. And also I can get like this thunder orb from this if I desynthesize it. And yeah. Jesus. So okay. Right. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words after having honestly like kind of an experience that oh, I actually got 11 orb just as an item drop. Nice. Actually not nice. Oh, I thought this was the other thing to make the weapons, but no. Damn it. No one. Anyway, fuck me. That was so bad. If I remember correctly, I was making an episode and it was 20 minutes long, maybe? How long was the last episode that I made? Because I really do not remember for the life of me. Let's see. It was 17 minutes, yeah. So 20 minutes, just about. Okay. So I have, at this point, I would say that the fight took me like, maybe like 5 minutes or something. So I'll have like half an hour left or something. Well, I actually have less time. I guess we'll just see how it goes. Because I do have an appointment at 4 p.m. Man, that was... you know, this was a beautiful, absolute beautiful example of like the shit that honestly mentors sometimes have to deal with. This is the reason why mentors don't like duty roulette. Because people with like absolutely zero knowledge of the fight just jump in. And then it becomes kind of difficult, I would say. Especially like if you do not know the fight at all, then I would recommend using Party Finder, because then you actually have people who want to do the fight and maybe know the fight, so that we can actually like start learning it. However, if you do not know anything about the fight, you just go in blind, like these 6 freaking people this time. Yeah, that's gonna become very messy, especially when it's a difficult fight like this, which requires honestly a lot more like technical stuff. But like at the end, they understood what they needed to do. Unfortunately enough, the tank didn't really 100% understand what he needed to do, but that is beside the point. All of the other DPS I've noticed, or most of them in any case, definitely started to get the hang of like what they needed to do. And the tank mechanics in this one, like from all of the Realm Reborn fights, I feel like when it comes to this fight, this is probably one of the most difficult ones to fight from a Realm Reborn. Anyway, that's all I have to say about it. Greetings then, though I would not discourage the company if you cross the threshold of the waking sands on a mere whim, does thou require mine aid in some matter? The lure of Levin was returned unto the forest, The sylphs challenged the Sahagin for the swiftness of their summoning, and thy account doth paint most vividly the image of Ramuh's amplified energies. I fear the touched ones too dabble in sacrificial rituals. Thy stern expression bespeaks thy understanding. Even the denizens of the Twelves would possess no immunity against Asian manipulations. Once more are we reminded that only with the lifting of darkness shall this primal nightmare cease to haunt us. We shall prevail, warrior of light. By the radiance of thee and thy companions we shall prevail. Okay, I was playing as monk. I'll continue being monk until the next duty, I think. Or maybe I should, you know what, I have a better idea. Like, I'm gonna be like switching jobs for every single duty, but like for maybe every single episode, I can just run around with a different job. Because that seems like a fun little thing to do, in my humblest opinion. Okay, let's go back to Madonna. I also need to remember to repair my tanking gear because it took a hit from the stuff that I've done lately. And I've not really repaired it. Another thing that happened off camera is that I got myself the other horses. So the one from Ifrit, the one from Garuda. We already had the one from Titan, and I also got the horse drop from Leviathan off camera. Just, you know, FYI. If you want to get, like, there's a certain quest that becomes available once you get them all. So, you know, if you want to do that quest or whatever, then you need to get these. It's the only reason why I'm still, like, getting all of them, because they eventually give me a quest. Anyway, back to the main story. Try as I might, I cannot shake a creeping sense of dark foreboding. But it avails us not to fret about the unknown. We must concentrate instead on the problems of the present. The primals have been relatively quiet of late, and the beast types who summoned them are under constant surveillance by the Grand Companies. Should any suspicious activity be afoot, you may be certain that we will hear of it. And until such time as a permanent solution to the primal problem has been found, we can do little but wait and observe. As for the Asians, Urianger is wholly dedicated to finding the means by which we may defeat the Dark Beings. Let us pray for good tidings on that front. But all of this you knew already. Let us speak then of more current matters. In particular, the state of the Crystal Braves. Alphino did well to found the organization, but ensuring its smooth operation is another matter entirely. Though I doubt not that he is doing his best, I felt that a helping hand or two would not go away, or whatever. To this end, I offered to send one of the Archons to assist him, but he declined. You know how he can be, independent to a fault and singularly loath to accept help. Save, of course, when that help comes from you. Alphino has entrusted countless matters of import to your care in the past, and I believe he would not hesitate to do so again, were you to offer. I should be most grateful if you would go to him, and support him in whatever manner you are able. Quest accept, here. It always takes like such a weirdly long time to load the solar. Not like the Rising Stones particularly, but the solar. Or maybe the Rising Stones too. I think it's because so many things change in here. The NPCs change a lot. Needs to load a lot more than usual. What is it then? And do be concise, I'm rather busy. You would lend a hand, you say? I see. Well, now that you mention it, there is a matter that wants for attention. Given its sensitive nature, I was hesitant to entrust it to my braves, but the demands upon my time are such that I had little choice. Which is not to say that my men want for labor. Though we are but newly formed, there is already a great demand for our services, and we are hard-pressed to answer all petitions. But I digress. The fact is, I would sooner attend to this particular matter myself, but my presence is required elsewhere. That being the case, I have entrusted its resolution to my second-in-command, Captain Ilbert. Tell him that I sent you, and he will furnish you with the particulars. My thanks in advance, then. Are you ill? Ilbert?
Hail to you, Scion. How might we serve you? Commander Leveilleur bade you serve us? These are welcome tidings indeed. Given the sensitive nature of the task, I could not rely on one of my own. That which I'm about to tell you, I tell you in the strictest confidence. Some days ago, we received certain documents from an anonymous source. They notified us of the presence of a Garlean agent within the ranks of one of the Grand Companies. Following some discreet inquiries, we identified a suspect among the Immortal Flames, whom we detained for questioning. Alas, the man was not our agent. He was but one of many men in the agent's employ. We pressed the traitor for a name, but he had none to give. He claims never to have met his master, whom he knows only as the Ivy. He was, however, certain that this Ivy had coiled itself around every part of the Immortal Flames. It would seem our quarry joined the company some time ago, and gradually recruited others to his cause. These conspirators are the vines by which he learns our secrets, all without exposing himself. It won't be easy to identify the Ivy amidst this tangled mass of subterfuge. But we have a tendril in our hands, and we shall follow it all the way to the gnarled root. Now, much as I would prefer to proceed with due discretion, circumstances demand that this matter be settled post-haste. Garlemald's War of Succession nears its end, and it is feared that the Empire will soon resume its march on Eorzea. When it does, we can ill afford to have traitors in our midst. The Ivy must be rooted out now. We must begin by apprising General Reborn of our findings. I would ask that you accompany me to the Hall of Flames, and remain on hand to see that things go smoothly. Assuming the Ivy's tendrils are as widespread as we believe, he will be aware that an investigation is underway, and if that is the case, he may well move against us. We must be prepared for anything, while taking care not to betray our purposes by seeming prepared. A simple enough task for a one-woman army like you.
Time to go to Reborn. Reborn. Never have to think of Reborn or it's so weird though. You can say like a Reborn or Reborn or like whatever, but it just I always have to think of like Anonymous saying Reborn in one of the earlier AOR quests, if I recall. My boy. Well, my man, really. It's not very. It's not. He's not a boy anymore. Hasn't been for a long time.
Well, well. What brings you here, my friend?
She is here at my behest. Greetings, Reborn. It has been a while.
Hilbert, you old scoundrel. When they told me you'd be visiting, I scarce believed my ears. But look at you! The honored captain of the Crystal Bloody Braves. Who'd have imagined, eh?
Not many, but fewer still would have imagined your destiny lay in politics, old friend.
Aye. We've both come far, have we not? Lest you wonder, Hilbert and I go back a long way. We've been friends and rivals since we were lads. The last time we saw each other, Alamigo had just fallen, so you can guess how many summers it's been. And in all that time, not a word from the fool.
Ah, well, my dealings tended toward the modest and mundane, unlike some I could mention. As I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanalan than the brass blades clapped you in irons and dragged you off to die on the blood sands. Being a stubborn sort, you won 1,000 matches and earned yourself a place in the people's hearts while you were about it. Then, with your mountain of prize money, you bought the Colosseum and secured a seat on the Syndicate. Those balls, brother! Rags to riches does not do it justice. You're a hero to the common man.
Ha! Spare me. I am no hero. If anyone is worthy of that title, it's our friend here. Next to her, I'm little more than a glorified butcher. But you, Ilbert, you sell yourself short. By all accounts, you are an adventurer of some standing.
I like to think that I did my part for the greater good. But if you're no hero, then I'm no adventurer, not in this company. Anyway. I have tidings.
So there has been progress. I've let it be known that this meeting is a reunion between old friends. None will give your visit a second thought. To convene elsewhere would only attract attention. Let us speak here, in plain view of all. So it is we who have been compromised. Teleji Adeleji's machinations have shaken Ul'dah to her foundations. In such uncertain times, a man's loyalty may be bought for a fistful of gil. But if this snake has truly been in our midst for as long as you say, we must needs consider a far graver possibility. Conspiracy. Could it be that the Monetarists have been in league with the Empire from the first? Very well. I will have my most trusted men investigate the matter. Continue your inquiries in the meantime. It does me well to see you again, old friend. When next we meet, let it be over a flagon of ale.
I look forward to it. Let us reminisce of bygone days, and drink to the future of our homeland. Flame General. You wear the mantle well, old friend. I must work hard if I'm to keep up. Well, it would seem your services were not required after all. I dare say we have Roban's prudence to thank for that. Still, I was glad of your presence. My thanks, Scion.
Knocked. Extra thick. And then these things, what are they? Lancer. Oh, hello. Hello. If only I could change the color of this metal, though. Whatever, though, I'm taking those. These actually look good. Nice. What are these ones like? Auroral brace, or Auroral brace from Daystar stuff, which are the healing stuff, which it looks ridiculously beefy. Right. Our hunt for the ivy begins in earnest, Scion. Suffice it to say, you must tread warily. With one misstep, may well cost us our lives. Our business here is concluded for the time being. Let us return to the Rising Stones and report to Commander Levier. Pray return to the Rising Stones. Yes. Elfie, no. We are returned from Ul'dah, Commander. Not a moment too soon. Something has happened. Trouble. Or something has happened, whatever. You'll recall that the Force was tasked with reconnoitering the rendezvous site used by the IV's minion and his Imperial contact. Soon after you left, we received word that the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. God damn it. According to the report, one of ours has been taken captive. The Guardians are not wont to treat their foemen with dignity, and I have grave fears for her safety. We must dispatch a rescue party at once. Recall those braves for the field. Begging your pardons, Commander, but we have not the time. I am afraid I must ask for your aid once more, Scion. An ill-prepared rescue party will only serve to provide the Guardians with more captives. Yet time is of the essence. Simply put, you are the best chance we have. Captain Ilbert has a right of it. I trust you are willing? But of course you are. Now, Alianne of the Fourth lies in wait in a tangle, near the entrance to Chasm Sentry. Seek her out and she will apprise you of the situation. Lol. Mount unavailable in this occasion. Makes sense. But also sad. Sad. I think I'm gonna need to find something that's gonna fit with this. So I'm probably gonna have to like change the main body armor. Who knows? Maybe I can find the I can get the other part of the Astrum gear, and maybe that's gonna be good. I don't know. I guess we will see, my friends. Yes. I was not too pleased with my Dragoon armor anyway, so. Or my Dragoon Glamiar. You would aid us in the rescue mission. We are on your death, Warrior of Light. Now time is against us, so allow me to brief you on the situation. The Guardians fell upon us without warning, wounding poor Rush and hauling her away to the chasm yonder. Outnumbered as we were, it was all we could do to flee and regroup. Even as we speak, the Guardians may be interrogating Rush, or worse. With her hurts, I fear that she will not long survive their attentions. We must rescue her without delay. Our order may yet be in its infancy, but the bond that binds us is as strong as mithril. None of us will stand by while a comrade suffers. We, the remnants of the Fourth, will infiltrate Chasm Sentry. Please help us find Rush before it is too late. They are bloom, Dabu. I find it very interesting that this place is still standing after everything that we did to Castle Meridianum and the Praetorium. Oi! Come for the maiden fair, eh? Also, you're not dead. Oh no, this is the other dude. Funky. Bro. Aiding. Where am I? Rush, thank the gods we found you. And thank you, Warrior of Light. Now, to quit this accursed place. Rush cannot move with those wounds. She will need to be carried out. I believe a diversion is in order. Might we trouble you to provide one? Given your reputation, I suspect the Guardians will be only too happy to grant you their undivided attention. If you were to create a commotion within Castrum, we should be able to steal away unnoticed. Let us speak again once we are safely outside of these walls. I'm about to kick your ass. That's a lot of enemies. That's a lot of enemies. There we go. Using some of my new Dragoon skills. Who says a hostile presence? There we go. Oh no! Anyway. Sound the alarm! More? Okay. There we go. I have awaited your return most anxiously, my friends. You have done us a great service indeed. Thanks to your aid, our comrade Resh is safe, and we suffered no further casualties. Words cannot well express my gratitude. All that is left is to report the mission's success to Commander Leveilleur. I shall go on ahead to the Rising Stones. Somebody's mad about you. Mad about you. Let's this way. There's a dragon in my way. I can't go with a dragon. Commander Leveilleur. Ah, it does me well to see you thus returned, though I doubt not your prowess. Entering an enemy stronghold is generally considered to be a risky venture, and I must confess to having been a trifle anxious. But here you are, hale and whole, having succeeded in your mission, as is your wont. Lest you wonder, the woman you rescued is being cared for by the Domans. Thanks to their expert ministrations, the danger is past. You have my gratitude, Lyn. Allow me to thank you also, Scion. Rush owes you her life. We escaped with minimal casualties this time, but we can ill afford to be caught off guard again. The Empire is not an opponent to be trifled with. As you say, Commander, I will see to it that the men keep their wits about them. And it may yet take time, but I will not rest until we have identified the identified and apprehended the ivory. Sorry. I have every confidence that you will succeed, Captain. As for you, Lyn, I realize you have scarce caught your breath, but I'm afraid there is no rest for the weary. I require that you accompany me to Curthus. I have been granted an audience with an Ishgardian dignitary, you see, and the man expressly requested your presence. Oh, do not look so surprised. You should be familiar with the trappings of fame by now. We shall depart as soon as you're ready. Right, so none of these gloves really... I really like, so... Anyway, my friends, that, however, is going to conclude this episode of Just I was playing a Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we're going to go and continue with the MSQ. Ugh. Goodbye.